In this video, we show you how you can build up a fortune with your normal job, without really having to change much in your life. Hi everybody, my name is Till and this is the channel where you learn how to build up a fortune with smart investment, and that helps you with analyses, strategies on financials, real estate and how to increase your money. When you're new here, click on the subscribe button and ring the little bell so that you don't miss any new episodes. The links to the video and the disclaimer you'll find in the box under this video. Of course, everybody wants to be wealthy, but only a few people actually achieve this during their lifetime. And there are a lot of ways to legally build up a fortune. The problem is, most of them contain either high risk, pure luck, or fortunate coincidence. The least of them are an actual realistic chance for normal employees like you and me. But when you approach the investment topic in a bit of a structured and smart way, it is also possible for a normal person to build up an amazing fortune. This video and this channel will show you why this is possible and which concrete steps you have to take to achieve this. As a little bonus, I'll present you in the end of this video a tool that will show you how your own fortune will grow over time and that you can easily adjust with your personal parameters. So let's jump into it. How is it generally possible for a normal employee to build up a fortune? In principle, it's about the questions: where do I take the money from and how do I increase that money? Let's handle the first question first. Where should I take the money from that should be increased? There are people that earn $5,000 net per month and still do not get by with their salary. Not to talk about having something left at the end of the month for investment. They just have a luxurious lifestyle where most of their money is being consumed. On the other side, I know persons that have a normal salary of maybe $1,600 or $1,700 who are able to put aside regularly $200 to $300 per month. Of course, it is better to earn more, and let's be honest, the financial room for maneuver for somebody with $1,600 net per month is much smaller, and this person is having way more difficulties to get by. But without being cynical, building up a fortune doesn't only depend on earning a lot of money in absolute terms. To be able to save money for investing, it is more important to live within one's means. One of the key elements to come into the position to put aside money is to structure your personal financials in a smart way and to spend your money very consciously. It might seem to be hard at first glance to regularly look into your financials and build up structures and planning. But when you're not doing it, there's just the risk that you're spending and maybe wasting too much money without really drawing some value out of it. The structuring itself isn't that difficult at all, and it is not taking much time and work once you've set up everything. I'll probably create another video soon that supports you on this and will teach you how you set up and improve your personal financials and build them easily in your daily life. The second question regarding how it is possible for a normal employee to build up a fortune is: how do I increase my capital? The immediate answer to that is quite easy. Learn to invest. This is not really difficult, although it might seem that way for the one or the other. This channel is going to support you with that, and we will show you step by step how you get started, how this whole thing works, and how you become a really good investor. Of course, I will put up most of the material here for free. But if you prefer an even more structured approach, I created a complete masterclass investing for beginners that I put on Skillshare.com. This class is guiding you to the investment topic and showing you in easy steps how you become a great investor. Skillshare is a platform that enables the transfer of knowledge between people. When you sign up via the link below this video, you can test it for free for the first 2 weeks. Afterwards, I think it costs about $14 per month. But even if you're not having that much time available to dive into the investment topic, or if you just don't want to, there are other simple possibilities to achieve nice returns. The great thing about today is that you can invest very easy. The access to markets is much more simple and much cheaper than it was 20 or 30 years ago. Also, the access to information about companies and investments is much easier. 25 years ago, you had to collect the information from newspapers, or you had to write to the companies if you wanted to have their reports. Today, you just go to the internet and download all the information you require. You're already investing? That's fantastic. That means you already took the first step. Here you learn how you become better and how you achieve your goals. Why does it work? It's not that many factors that have an influence on the development of your fortune, but the few that are there have to be controlled. The amount of saved money per month. The more money you save in a month, the more you have available for investing, and the faster your fortune will grow. The key element is to control your personal consumption and your expenses, and if possible, to minimize them. How you do this best without really missing out on the joys of life, I will show you in a separate video that will be posted on this channel as soon as it is ready. What's possible on the stock markets? Depending on the country, the stock markets develop in the last decades with circa 6 to 7% per year on average. 7% per year means that the capital doubles circa every 10 years. And this is just the average. We want to show you on this channel how you can participate on this growth in the future. Here you will find a lot of videos that will show you everything that is necessary so that you can easily and successfully invest, and why it is possible also for a private investor to meet, or with some extra effort, also beat the performance of the professional investors, the big guys. Time and the superpower of compound interest. The impact of this factor is being underestimated by most of the people, most of their life, including myself. Even if you're able to understand it mathematically, it is just too abstract to the most of us for developing a feeling on how enormously it can work out in our favor. How do these factors work together? Let's look at 3 examples. And let's say, for the sake of comparison, all the 3 examples have the same average amount of money or income available during their lifetime. The first example is a 20-year-old person. The person has no saving, but of course lots of years expected left to live. The person doesn't earn that much salary yet, but the costs for living are also not very high. So with 20, you usually do not have any kids yet, no wife, no mortgage, no plans to buy a house or a flat yet. The second example is a 40-year-old person with some savings anywhere in the middle of his or her life. Person earns a good salary, has to pay a lot of bills for kids, family, house, etc. The third example is a 60-year-old person with more than considerable savings available. The person is of course short before retirement. The house credit is paid off. Salary is maybe not that high anymore, especially when the pension is already considered. Let's have a look at the Excel spreadsheet and the examples. To do this in a compact way, we focus basically on 3 targets. First target is, when will the fortune of $1 million be achieved? The second target is, what is the financial situation and the fortune at a retirement age of 67 years? And the third target is, when could you actually live off the returns of investment? So when will the returns on investment be able to cover your daily expenses? Let's have a look. For a 20-year-old person, the saved capital at the start is of course 0, because with 20 you do not have much money saved. You may earn already a salary of maybe $2,000 and you have expenses per month of $1,800. That's just assumptions. That means that you could save $200 per month. For the return on invest, we assume again the return on investment that the markets achieved over the past decade, so around 7%. You already see immediately that in the year of 70 years, you achieve a fortune of $1 million. That's pretty good because you don't save that much. You do not have any capital, but you anyway achieve a fortune of $1 million. That's great. On the second target, at an retirement age of 67 years, you have a fortune of roughly $850,000. The third target is when could the returns on investment cover the daily expenses. For this, I added additional lines in the sheet that show the return on investment on a monthly basis. And you see, we have expenses per month of $1,800, and the $1,800 are nearly achieved at an age of 53 years. This means with 53 years, you could basically live off your return on invests. Of course, you have to consider those are before tax gross. So the actual date when you could live off that is probably a bit later. Let's take a second scenario on this person. So let's say the person would be more aggressive on savings and could put back some more money. Let's say we have expenses of only $1,500 per year. Then we would achieve the $1 million already at an age of 57 years. And as we only have expenses of $1,500, we would be able to live off that already with an age of 40 years. That's pretty good. The target at the retirement would also be achieved with $2.1 million. Pretty good. Let's say this person learns a bit more about investing and is actually able to beat the markets and achieves a more aggressive return on invest of 12%. What would we have then? Then we would be able to achieve the $1 million already at an age of 46 years. At the retirement age of 67 years, we would have a fortune of around $11.5 million. Pretty good. And you could live off that money already at an age of around 32 years. That's great. So let's come to the next example. Let's say you're a person maybe around my age. I'm 41 currently, and let's say you're 40 years old. With 40 years, you may have already some capital saved. Let's say $100,000. Because obviously you had more time in life to save money. And the salary might be higher than for the 20-year-old person. Let's say that 40-year-old person earns a salary of $3,500. The person has expenses per month of maybe $3,300. That means it can save the same amount that the 20-year-old person can save. And we also use again the same return on investment rate of 7%. This person could achieve the $1 million already with 70 years, well, nearly 69 years. At a retirement age of 67 years, the person would be able to achieve a fortune of $858,000. And also, let's have a look by when the person can actually live off that. So, by when would we achieve the $3,300 expenses per month? And this is with an age of 62 years. So this person could actually retire 5 years earlier and live under the same conditions. Also here the example, let's say the person would be a bit more aggressive with saving money and has expenses of only $3,000 per month. Same return on invest, then the $1 million would be already achieved at an age of 66 years. Sorry. At 67 we would be at $1.1 million, and that person could live off that already at an age of 57 years, because obviously the expenses are lower in that scenario. Let's say this person would also try to learn more about investing and increase its capital returns to 12%. Then that person would be able to achieve a fortune of, drum roll, $3.5 million at the retirement. This is mainly driven because the 12% can already be applied on the $100,000 from day one onwards. The $1 million would be achieved already right after 56 years, and the person could live off that $3,000 already at an age of 47 years. So just 7 years after starting to invest. This is pretty great. But maybe you're a bit older and you're already 60 years old. With 60 years, you already had 20 years more than the 40-year-old person to save money. So we assume that person saved $200,000. And with 60 years, you can expect maybe a bit less than the 40-year-old person. Let's say, on average, $2,500. And to achieve the $200 savings per month, we also say that that person would have $2,300 in expenses per month. We use again the same number on return on invest, so 7%. This means that the person, the 60-year-old person, could achieve the $1 million at an age of 82 years. The fortune at the retirement age of 67 years would be $368,000. Obviously, this is a bit less, or significantly less than in the earlier examples, but the person just invested for 7 years. When could that person live off that? So we have $2,300. This means that the person, the 60-year-old person, could already live off that at an age of 68 years. And this is of course because the expenses are lower compared to the 40-year-old person, and the saved capital that you generate your capital gains from already works from day one and is twice as much as for the 40-year-old person. And it means this person could already retire at an age of 68 years. Let's say, same assumptions here, that person is a bit more savvy and just requires $2,000 expenses, so it can save $500 per month. Then this person would be able to achieve the $1 million already at an age of 79 years. At the retirement age of 67, it would have a bit more, so $405,000. But, and that's nice, the $2,000 return on invest would already be achieved at 65 years. That's pretty good. Let's have a look at the next example, and let's say this person also learns a bit more about investing and achieves also, like the other ones, 12%. The fortune at the year of 67 would go up significantly to $569,000 at the retirement age. The $1 million would be achieved already this time by 72 years, and that's the great and interesting thing for all the elder persons. The expenses per month would already be covered from day one on. So with 12% return on invest, the $2,000 expenses per month would be exceeded already at an age of 60 years. So the person could retire already. You can find the Excel spreadsheet on my webpage. The link will be shown here somewhere or in the box below the video. Here you can download it, of course, for free, and you can put in your own parameters and see how your personal chances are. Just play around a bit with it. This is the best way to get a feeling on what's possible to achieve. The 3 phases of the development of fortune. For a better overview, it might help to visualize this. The figures might be a bit baffling for the one or the other. As a short explanation, the flat orange line is the monthly saving of $250 or $3,000 per year. The gray line is the return you'll achieve, and the yellow line is the development of the fortune. The development can be divided in 3 phases. In the first phase, the fortune grows mainly by the money that you save. There isn't that much capital yet that creates a return. Due to that, it is especially important to be thrifty and save as much money as possible. This phase is sometimes governed by personal insecurity on the whole investment topic. You might ask yourself from time to time if this whole investment thing is actually going to work out. Setbacks on the stock markets, which can happen from time to time, can be really irritating. During the second phase, the capital return already contributes significantly to the build-up of the fortune. But it is not yet enough, so you could already live from the returns a relaxed life. On the other hand, it is a time where you will realize how the investment thing develops and where you start to feel what might be possible in the future. You had your first investment successes and start to see how many further potentials are in the investment topic. When you come into the third phase, the capital return contributes significantly more to the fortune build-up than the savings. You now could live from the returns if you wanted. This is the target you want to achieve, the financial independence. Of course, you cannot separate the phase 1 to 1 from each other. The edges are sort of fading, and in reality, the development is of course not that consistent. There will be times with huge growth, and there will be other times where you will see not much movements in the market or even setbacks. To have a better overview, it will be helpful to view the topic from time to time from a different angle, so that you see the different phases and what they can bring. Of course, in 30 or 40 years, $1 million will not have the same value anymore as it has today, as inflation is continuously dragging on everybody's fortune. But for me, it is really unbelievable which growth you can achieve and which fortune you can build up without having to win the lottery or inheriting money from a rich uncle. So, now it's your turn. Let me know what you think about this topic and if you're psyched now about starting to build your fortune. Write your opinions in the comment section below this video. When you liked the video and when you want to know more about the investment topic and how you can create a wonderful fortune, click on the subscribe button for not missing any new videos, or browse through the other videos on my channel. I wish you a lot of success with your investment activities and see you in the next video.